Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and I've been inspired by a recent comment, well, countless recent comments I've been getting, whether it be in my Twitch chat or my YouTube comments, that kind of echo this sentiment about players that have returned to Hearthstone after United and Stormwind due to quest lines, and how much that seemed to frustrate them, and the new mechanics and new expansions have kind of brought them back. And it wasn't that long ago, actually it was last August, that United and Stormwind launched and was arguably the most detrimental thing to Hearthstone. We're going to review just how much the game has changed, how much they've had to nerf and change cards due to the impact United and Stormwind. And the impact was great. It wasn't just people complaining on social media, but we even had this trend for months of, is Hearthstone dying? The numbers dropping, plummeting across all metrics, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Google Trends, all across the board. People were wondering, people were quitting. Trump had basically walked away from Hearthstone. We've seen Dexter and Solemn and countless other creators who haven't even come back. However, Trump has come back in his free-to-play run. He's doing a spectacular. Check it out on his YouTube. Also when he's streaming on Twitch. However, a big part of this was United and Stormwind. And it is such a horror show to go back and take a look at it that I thought it would be quite fascinating to do that. So let's do that. Before we get into it, by the way, we're still closing in on 49,000 subscribers. If you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that button. We're going to do another massive giveaway at 49K. But anyways, let's take a look at United and Stormwind in our collection. It's kind of the best way to go look at it, class by class, and just see how much ridiculousness the expansion contained, and just how overall it just created these horrible play experiences that we haven't seen replicated since. And starting off with Demon Hunter, we had the final showdown. The quest lines were the big part of what made United and Stormwind so awful for most people. It created these linear strategy that always followed the same game plan. It always led to inevitability. All these quest lines that were dominant, not all of them in the game, but all of them that were dominant, were inevitable demise for your opponent when they completed. Example being the final showdown, which you would draw a bunch of cards, discount them, and for the rest of your game, your cards cost 2 less. This led to multiple nerfs, whether it was Irebound Brute was nerfed because of this quest, because this came down too quickly because of it, but also Il'gynoth and Moarg Artificer both got nerfed because of this, because this deck was so powerful. And even then, until the wild rotation, it was still a meta-defining, frustrating deck. So just Demon Hunter alone, you had like 3-4 cards nerfed directly because of this very frustrating experience. Druid, on the other hand, actually kind of in the clear. There's some pretty gross cards like Composting that I complained about in Oracle of Elune because of the aggro strategies it got, but I complained about aggro in general, and that's fine. Aggro's aggro, it's usually counterable by board clears and healing, and overall, I can't really fault Druid in this expansion. It was actually an okay Druid expansion. Hunter is still contentious to this very day with Defend the Dwarven District. This card has the inevitability of basically infinite damage from Tavish in your hero power, 0 mana hero power over and over. And in Wild, it was so good that they actually had to nerf a wild card. They actually had to nerf Rapid Fire from 1 to 2 mana to get it away from Odd Hunter. And ironically, they keep supporting the Hunter quest, so now Rapid Fire fits just right in to Wild Quest Hunter, which is still a pretty good deck in the format and very contentious. I cannot count. I don't think I've got a single day without reading comments about how much people hate Quest Hunter. I mean, we just had this Kibler tweet literally today. It's still very contentious, very frustrating, and one of the remnants still left from United and Stormwind. You take a look at Mage, and Sorcerer's Gambit was super contentious, super frustrating for many a player. It gave you spell damage +3 originally, eventually got nerfed, but before that it was indirectly nerfed with Refreshing Spring Water and Incanter's Flow, all nerfed, and even created a cheating strategy in Ignite that had people literally hacking the client to skip animations, creating a whole different controversy that shed even more negative light. And again, United and Stormwind quest lines and card design in general creating frustration, and we'll even have the Parrot Boy in Wild creating infinite turns. Paladin, safe from all the shenanigans. Their quest line has never been meta, nor does it really create this infinite value. You have to spend mana on the recruits. it's not quite the same thing, and you got some good hand buff stuff that still sees play today, but is a relatively healthy thing for the game. Priest, I guess they were fortunate that Seek Guidance wasn't that good, because it was another quest that falls in that same line of inevitability with the Purified Shard, literally ending the game, killing the opposing hero regardless of health. However, it's been so slow that it's never seen play. And the other deck that came out of United Storm was Aggro Priest, which saw the nerf of Mind Render Elusia in the crosshairs, which Priest has yet to recover from. Rogue saw the spawning of one of the most degenerate decks ever in Garrote Rogue, which was nerfed once but still was too good, ended up being nerfed again with Octobot being nerfed to 3 mana, creating another horrible non-interactive OTK strategy, again spawning from United Stormwind design. And we even had Maester the Masquerade, which inevitably created the 0 mana Knolls we saw from Alterac Valley, again an expansion of frustration regarding Rogue. And then Shaman had Command the Elements, another overly tuned quest that doubled spells, so it got nerfed, its requirement went up. However, Perpetual Flame got nerfed from 1 mana to 2 mana as well. Again, another result of United Stormwind just creating a senseless inevitability frustration. And we even saw the Brilliant Macaw being made in this expansion, which now is more problematic with cards like Snowfall Guardian in the game, creating maximum frustration. And honestly, Snowfall probably wouldn't even be that bad if Brilliant Macaw didn't exist. The big one was Warlock with the Demon Seed. The Demon Seed is arguably the most toxic, frustrating card for a huge amount of players, effectively deleting the entire control archetype single-handedly, as you could complete this quest very quickly and negate all fatigue damage for the rest of the game. This led to the nerfs, not only the Demon Seed itself, which took quite some time, but it saw the nerfs of Dark Glare, again, Stealer of Souls. We even saw Touch of the Nathrezim in the same expansion get nerfed. Ruined Mithril Rod getting nerfed not once, but twice, and still remaining a meta player and creating very uninteractive, unfun strategies. But it also indirectly led to Morg Artificer being nerfed, Flesh Giant being nerfed twice. So many cards were nerfed and changed solely because of the Demon Seed, and now it sees pretty much no play. Blizzard has basically been scared into giving Warlock any possible support for this deck archetype and has outright banned it from Wild. One of the most painful, detrimental cards to the game, and Warlock, in my opinion, is still suffering because of how awful this card was for the game. And then we have Warrior with another very contentious card, Raid the Docks, which has been nerfed not once, but twice, also indirectly, with multiple pirates being nerfed. Again, another quest line that created inevitability with the Juggernaut coming down and creating infinite value, infinite damage, and again, a huge frustration, and also just polarizing cards like Defias Cannoneer, which a lot of players just cannot stand the mass amount of damage this card can push. But there's one more pirate we're going to talk about in a second that might be a little bit more frustrating. It's basically the cherry on top from United Stormwind. The neutral pool, not too terrible, nothing too frustrating. Battlemaster did get nerfed from 5 to 6 mana, but I would argue is just more overtuned, although the Demon Seed has something to play with this one as well. However, Mr. Smite was introduced as well in part of the mini set for United Stormwind, putting the cherry on top for one of the most frustrating, aggravating, and just polarizing and outright awful expansions which led to what appears to be a mass exodus of players. However, Hearthstone seems to be in a much better spot. As I said at the beginning of the video, players are coming back, people are enjoying ladder a lot more, and basically a large part of that is, well, most of the United Stormwind cards have been outright destroyed, whether it be through rotation or multiple balance patches. It's just crazy to look through United and Stormwind, see how many cards have been changed, and not one of them have yet been Mr. Smite. Will he be the next to go at some point? So let me know in the comments below, how much did you love United and Stormwind, and have you returned from the game as a result of the game improving, at least to the opinion of a lot of us players? If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.